Hello learners, in this session we will discuss database searching. This database searching comes under your paper 6 Information Technology Applications module 2 Database Management System unit 18. Database searching in this module basically we will try to search 4 questions. What is database? What is database searching? Then database searching is a process. So, what action should be taken before choosing a database for searching, as well as what techniques will be adopted for searching a database. Finally, we will discuss how to evaluate the search result of a database. On this 4 angle, we will discuss the points as I mentioned. So, before going in detail, first we should start our journey about the term database and database searching. Dear friends, a database is a collection of logically related data arranged in structured form designed to meet the information requirement of multiple users. It is mainly defined as a collection of non-reductant data, operational data, and that is searchable between different application systems. A database is organized in such a way that a computer program can easily select the desired information from the database and display the result. In fact, there are a number of databases existing, and very common example probably you are well accustomed with is called payroll data management. Here, various information like employer ID, date of birth, salary, date of retirement, these all type of data are basically stored in database under different fields. Every data which is stored in the field are basically various types. Either maybe it a date type, either it may be text type, either it may be numeric type. So, you have to define preparing a database or searching a data from a database, understanding that while we are making a search, data must be stored in the database under various data types. So, we have to put our query according to the type of data. Then, finally, if we understand the database, then we have to understand that database searching is nothing but a process of finding relevant document from a from a database using a search strategy. Dear friends, if you see here, I have used a word called search strategy. It is very important, and I will discuss little bit after this slides what actually the search strategy means. It also helps in retrieving extensive information from digital repositories by using specific search criteria. The next, now, in order to identify correct information from a vast databases, there are a few steps one must follow in database search. First, in these slides, if you see, I have marked few steps that are very essential for database searching, including choose a topic, identify relevant database, create search term, select keyword, limit search, define search. One by one I will discuss later on, one by one. And you also see here in the right side of these slides, I have also mentioned a workflow of searching the data. It is nothing but same as it is mentioned over here. But only thing is that here you say there are two parts. One is yes and one is no. If a database doesn't give you the relevant result or the result that you are asking. Then you have to again try to find the database with your search query. There is no database in the world existed which give you the appropriate exact data on your first search, and there is no user also exists who put the perfect strategy for searching data in database. So it is a non-reductant continuous process, and it is a matter of trial and error also, by which we can get the relevant data for our research and for our academic purposes. Now, next, for conducting an efficient and effective search in any database, adoption of an appropriate search strategy is very essential. A search strategy is a planned and systematic approach for conducting a search. It is a combination of keywords, phrase, subject heading, and limiters that design to retrieve accurate results. It involves designing a method that maximizes your chances of finding the most relevant and accurate information for your research topic or your research question. For developing a search strategy, it is necessary to understand the information need of users, then selecting a database to search. Following certain criteria like coverage of that database, document coverage, accessibility, period coverage, search field, search device tools, performance. All these criteria are very, very important to understand before selecting a database. After this, formulating a search statement is very important. The combination of search term using various search strategies called search statement. This will help you to best approach of your research. One should use his or her keywords in combination with exact phrase searching and specialized search tools like Boolean operator, proximity operator, like near operator and all, to make a refined and appropriate search. Let's see the use of Boolean operator that are particularly used in search process. If you see the screen, this screen shows how Boolean operators are used and what are the effect of use such Boolean operators. In the left side of the screen, we have showing you and or not operator, and the shaded part is showing the search result. That means there are two things, information and society. If we use and in between this information and society, then it will give you a result related to information, related to society, along with documents that contain information society. If we talk about information or society, then it will give you information, society, information, society. The difference is that and or. In case of or, the total number of output become very high because it includes all. And in case of and, because it only support both the sides, the content which have both, which satisfy both, only the first blue part, it gives you the result. Therefore, the result comes through and is generally little bit less. But in practical practice, you will see most of the search engine uses this AND operator to give you maximum result. Not necessarily you will get specific result in spite of the fact these particular search techniques are used only to satisfy a particular part. The NOT part says to reject a particular portion among the total. If we put anything under NOT, this part will not show you any search result. This is the display screen I am using over here to show you how more than one operator in combination used in the search interface of Web of Science. As you know, dear friends, Web of Science is a very well-known academic search database which gives a scholarly search result. That's why I am attaching this screen to show you how both these operators are attached simultaneously to perform search. In the next screen, if you see, I have put a query called nanotubes and nanoparticles. All the search results that are coming is showing over here. The result, in that result, I have put a query that you must not display the result that are appear in 2023. So if you see the left side screen, all the results that are showing over here are coming that are not published in 2002, or you can say except publication in the year 2023, all the results have appeared. This is the use of not operator to reject a particular portion, and this is the use of AND operator to put more than one query at a time to get a best result. Next, proximity operator. To show the proximity operator, if you see, I am showing you a screenshot of Google. Here I have used a operator called nanoparticles, a search term, nanoparticles and nanotubes, but in between these two terms, I have used a operator called near. My dear friends, there are few proximity operators which is well known and being heavily used while searching from various databases. These operators includes near operator, sentence operator or within operator. If we put near operator, here I have put nanoparticles N4 nanotube. Means I am trying to search a document which have nanoparticles and nanotube both into that document, and the distance between the nanoparticle and nanotube must not be more than 4 meters. Here one thing is very important that you have to be understood, that whenever we put a proximity operator, the reverse direction access, that means there will be no document will come which is related to nanotube and nanoparticles that appears in the same document. That means reverse of a such query is not possible in proximity operator. The same type of operators is within operator. Within means if a term appears within a particular distance, or you can say if the two terms in a sentence appears, then we are using also sentence operator. So these are the proximity operators known as within, near and sentence, which are very popular and widely used in today's almost all search engines. This search result you can easily visualize that this operator, that is N4, gives you all the result in Google which includes the document that contain both the terms. Now little bit throw light on other proximity operator within. Say for example, if we put a query solar W5 energy, that will provide you the result in which energy appears within the 5 words word solar, but will exclude result in which the order is reverse. As I just previously said, that it will never give you result a document which contains energy produced by solar panels, because we have put solar word first and energy later. But if a document contains energy word last and solar word first, then it will show. If a document contains solar word first, if a document doesn't contain solar word first and energy word last, then it will not appear as a search result. You can see also the other operator I was talking about, sentence operator, learning and environment appear in the same sentence for a word called learning sentence environment. This is our search query, and we will get a document entitled "A Supportive Environment is Essential to the Learning Process." Like this type of search result we can get by using the proximity operator. So, dear friends, these three operators, near, within and sentence, are very important to connotate the search to a certain extent. And be remember, if you have more than one term as a search query, then only these operators come into existence. Although Boolean and other operators are mostly used when more than one terms as a search query comes, but most importantly, in database like Google or Google Scholar or everything, you will see these operators are being used when more than one terms appear as a search term in your search process. Next operator, and that is truncation. This is also known as wildcard operator or wildcard search. If a person is not very confident about a spelling of a particular word, or if a word have different implication by adding other few letters after a particular letter, this type of word operators is very important. As we say, color is a word which is used by American COLOR and Indian COLOUR. So difference is last two words, UR and OR. If we only say COLO's asterisk, it will give you all the result belongs to a document which having COLOUR as well as a document having COLOU. This type of operators are heavily used present day also by various academic search databases. In the right side of the screen, I am showing the search result that appears from Web of Science. If you see, I have put a query, and this query was related with interactive learning. But I have a confusion, that's why I put a query interact stars. It gives you all the results that related with interact, interacting, interaction, interactivity, everything. Because up to the word interact, in all the next four words was common. So the common, up to the common word, after writing the common word, if we simply put the asterisk signs, then it will search all related words which starts with first few phrases and then anything that appears as a last part. These are the screens by which we are trying to show you how the truncation operator works in the web of. There are few other search operators which are very much in, and my dear friends, I am just telling you, in actual search, these operators is very important, and that is called quotation mark sign, and you can say brackets. Here quotation mark signs, if we put in a search query, computer understand it as a complete sentence. Dear friends, if any of your search query consists of more than one terms, by default, computer put or and operator between the two sentences. But if we put the double inverted comma, then computer understand it's a intact word. Say for example, information society. If we simply type information society, it will give you the result information society and information site. The documents have information as a term, society as a term, and information society as a term. So our total search result will be very high, and it is not possible to go through if the search result becomes very high in number. So what we used to do in such cases, in where more than one word is there, we put a quotation mark or double inverted comma starting and ending of our word, that is called information society. In that case, it will only show you the result that belongs to information society, or it will only throw the documents which contain the word information society intactly without any difference between the two. Here I am showing you another example by taking the screenshot of another very popular database, and that name is Scopus. I have put a query Newtonian mechanics, and I have put a query using double inverted comma starting and at the ending. If we not put it, then Scopus may provide you the result, all the document that contain Newtonian or all the document that contain mechanics. But as I put Newtonian mechanics with inverted comma as shown over here, it only displays the search result that belongs to Newtonian mechanics. You can confirm the search result by looking this result screen. Here you will get there is no document available except Newtonian mechanics in conjugation. There is no gap between Newtonian and mechanics permitted or existed in your search result, because we put this operator double inverted comma in our search query. That's why such type of result comes. Comparing our this search result with other operator and, not, or the other operator called near, W5 or sentence, these operators is completely different. And to my experience, this is only a operator which give you the very precise result, and it is very important while searching you into the database called Web of Science or Scopus. There are other operators which are in use. One is called parenthesis, and this parenthesis operator I am showing over here by using some examples. Say for example, if I put rural or urban and sociology, but in between rural and urban, if we put a parenthesis, then it will display all the result that comes from rural sociology as well as urban sociology. Next, very important one, and that is called, today almost all databases of the world uses advanced search facilities or provide you advanced search facilities. While a basic search allow you to limit by material type, an advanced search adds on the option to limit by language, to limit by publication date or by publisher. The screens is showing how to formulate query in advanced search for the term Newtonian mechanics. The results in the Scopus display those documents which contain both the term. But here, if you see in this today, most of the important databases allow a user to perform advanced search. So, advanced search is today's call of the day. While a basic search allow you to limit your search to extent, advanced search allow you to purify your search result by language or by publication date or by publishers. Here, if you see, if we put advanced search, the same query, Newtonian mechanics, and then we are put and affiliation country India, and then we have put another advanced search thing and not publication year 2023. So it gives me the search result of those documents which contains Newtonian mechanics, which published from India only and not published in the year 2023. To exclude the publication that appeared in 2023, we put this not operator in advanced search string and we get a purified search result. So this advanced search is nothing but combining more than one search operator or using various databases field in combination to give a very purified, perfect search result. Since database gives you a huge number of hits and it is very impossible for a searcher to go through all the results. To make your search more perfect or minute, to that extent it can be readable, understandable and usable for your research purposes, we must adopt these advanced search techniques in your search process. This is not very tough of using advanced search. Various other operators so far we have discussed earlier that to be used in a logical process. Through this scheme you can get it how I have prepared a search string by using the advanced search operators, and by that what type of result it has appeared and shows to you. Today there is another option to make your search more perfect, and that is said to be filtering search. As you know, if we search your terms or your research query to international database like Web of Science, Scopus, IEEE Explorer or big databases, then every such databases give you to refine your result to extent, either by document type, that is only articles or conference proceeding, either the form of access, that is either open access or closed access, either its time of publication, early access, open access, print access, delay access, or year of publication, either by 2024 or 25 or combination of 2024, 25 and 22, only up to 3 years. So by the using of various field tags like publication year, like author, like keywords, like subject directory, like indexing key terms, like your funding agency, like accessibility, like your type of document, that is article, conference proceeding, you can also refine your search. The main motto of using advanced search and filter search is to make your search more refined to be usable for particular research purposes. As I have already told, researchers have not too much time to search their necessary published literature from big databases. That's why such big databases provide you various types of filtering facility which enable a searcher to filter to a query to that extent which leads to a specific result that the searcher is asking. So these are very important techniques today's are using. So far, if you recall, I am just recalling everything little bit up to that extent what I was talking of. I was talking of Boolean operator, and or not. I was talking of proximity operator, near. I was talking of use of parenthesis. I was talking of truncation operator by using wildcat characters like asterisk. There is another one also is question mark, that is some database permits you to search it. I was talking about advanced search facility, and just few minutes back I was talking about filter search. Since the intention of any search should to get a result, not to only to get a result, to get a perfect result, not to get a perfect result but to perfect precise result, and to do all this, a searcher must put such type of techniques while searching a data from any international database. Without knowing this knowledge, you cannot satisfy user need. One cannot get a best result from any database. Despite these operators are widely used in such process, there are some limitations too. Overcoming these limitations, there are few techniques today's world have come, and these techniques are called semantic search. As you know, the word semantic means it's search the terms, it search the query based on the semantics. Semantic search is a forward technique for searching terms in a meaningful manner. That is, the term with exact meaning, context and definition. Semantic search is a combined effort of semantic web and search engine technologies, which is designed to solve complex queries, automatic clustering and managing large number of web documents. So, the semantic web is an extensive collection of static or dynamic semantic web document distributed web over space, and semantic search are enabled with these semantic web technologies. One of the most very popular semantic search is showing in the right side, and that is called Yummy. Since there is a paradigm shift in search process, because the inception of artificial intelligence become very widespread and very much used in searching process. My dear friends, I must not complete this journey except touch these new two terms or new two things, which probably is not in your syllabus or course content, but I must say that today search engines or search process is enabled with AI technologies. These two screenshots belongs to AI enabled search tool that is called Semantic Scholar and Dimension. My dear friends, these are two open databases. That means here you can access it if your institution do not procure these two databases for your organization. You can access or use these two databases for your academic purposes. Altogether, Google is very good, but be remember, Google is a search engine or a engine for providing information, not the scholarly content. If we talk about research article, if we talk about government reports, then we must consult some academic databases. Here I was talking about these two AI-enabled search databases. One is called Semantic Scholar and Dimension. I expect to all of you that you will practically use these two databases for getting you better results. Next. At the end, I must say, everything need to evaluate. Whenever a search engine provide you a search result, whenever a database give you a result, there is a need to evaluate. Since every database has some limitation, and you know there is no world database exists which claims that their database is perfect, absolute. Dear friends, therefore, we must put certain techniques to evaluate the performance of the search result or search outcome. The very two known techniques is called recall and precision. While recall says the quantity of items that a search result can throw you. But precision says, out of the total, how much is very much relevant and useful? Because quantity along with quality is important for scholarly research. We cannot measure the thing only by ask of quantity. So this is all about the presentation regarding on the today's journey. Now let's discuss few MCQs. Now based on our discussion on database searching, let's discuss few MCQs that may be encountered during our journey of learning. First is, which of the following primary purpose of indexing a database? Here give you the answer. The result will be to speed up the retrieval records, because every database index the records. These are very important. What is the search strategy commonly used by various databases while searching a data? And these are truncation, Boolean, proximity and quotation, and most of these very commonly used operators is truncation. Which of the operators is used to give maximized result? And the result will be the OR, as I have already told you, or satisfy both the end. What is the purpose of asterisks in such queries? I have already told you it's a while character to enhance your search, starting or ending with different terms that you are not well accustomed of. You can use these string operators. And then last, which of the following operator would be used to search exact phrase? As you know, there is a call phrase marks, or I have already told you double inverted comma, quotation, that you can use for getting the exact search result from a database, or whenever you put this double inverted comma to your search query, the exact result will come. Now let us discuss few other questions that are related with these topics. And these questions are, what is the string? How such string should create for searching international database? As I have already told you, string is nothing but the writing the query in such a form that computer can understand or database can understand and give you the result. While putting a string or creating a string, I have already discussed what techniques should one use, either putting logical operator or putting proximity or putting double inverted comma, etc. Discuss in detail various operators used in searching content for any web databases. Detail I have discussed various techniques one by one. You can understand this. You can also read this by your own. What are the important points to remember while create a search string? I have already discussed you in the first slide. Remember point that subject coverage, for what users you are providing these services, the database that you are going to select, all you have to choose before searching the process. Discuss function of various Boolean operators. That means it is talking about or asking about and or not. I probably already shows you by showing a screenshot or by showing examples of using and or not. So you are giving me by showing examples with suitable example. What do you mean by refined search? Explain the ways to refine your search. I have already explained you refined search. Refined search means searching the content from a database by putting some refined mechanism. This refined mechanism includes year of publication, author, type of document, or so many I have already discussed. So, hope you have enjoyed the journey in my discussion with you. I must expect to all of you read this content thoroughly, understand it, and for reading it, there are few references I have mentioned also. You go through these references and use it for your personal. Thank you. Have a nice day.